There are several products that are discontinued by Apple each year. They may be old, they may need to be replaced with newer versions. There are a lot of reasons to be considered. Last year, for example, Apple ended up discontinuing the iPhones 12 Pro and Pro Max, the iPhone XR, the Apple Watch Series 6, the iMac Pro, the HomePod, and others. So what should we expect for 2022? This video is sponsored by SetTap, an incredible cross-platform suite which gives you access to over 200 iOS and macOS applications without any additional cost. You only need to pay for your subscription and choose the apps that you would like to use. Now, a great benefit is that you can start a 7-day trial for free when you use the link listed down below in the description. Starting off with the iPhones. The iPhones 13 Pro, Pro Max, 12, and 12 mini are probably going to be replaced with newer versions in September. So we're probably going to have the iPhones 14, 14 Max, 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, and the 13 if Apple decides to keep the 13 in its lineup. Next is the iPhone SE 2. This iPhone was released in April of 2020, so it's almost 2 years old, and it's likely to be replaced with the SE 3 in March or April. The third generation of the iPhone SE is probably going to have the same design with a 4.7-inch display, home button with Touch ID, and thicker bezels. And the main upgrades are probably going to be 5G support and a better processor. And in case you're wondering about the iPhone 11, I believe that there's another year to go. If you consider that the iPhone XR was discontinued last year at 3 years old, I think the iPhone 11 is probably going to be discontinued next year in 2023. Talking about Apple Watch, I believe the Apple Watch Series 7 is going to be discontinued and replaced by the Series 8, and we're expecting 3 different Apple Watches in 2022: the Series 8, the new SE, and a rugged version. Now, the iPad Air 4th generation was released in October of 2019, so it'll be 3 years old in 2022, which means that it's likely going to be discontinued and replaced by a newer version. Now, we've been hearing several rumors about the new 27-inch iMac, right? So the version currently on the Apple Store is probably going to be discontinued and replaced by a newer version that it's probably going to be powered by the M1 Pro or M1 Max processors. I'm definitely looking forward for this release, and I have another video here on the channel where I talk about the first Apple event of 2022, so make sure to watch that video as well in case you haven't watched it yet, because I talk about the new 27-inch iMac in more detail. And still talking about the Macs, I believe the same thing will happen with the Mac Mini. The current version on the Apple Store that has higher end configurations is still powered by Intel. So I believe that Apple is going to discontinue that one and then replace it with an M1 version. Maybe it's going to be powered by the M1 Max or M1 Pro. Talking about the AirPods Pro, the first generation was released in October of 2019, so it'll be 3 years old this year. We've been waiting for an upgrade for quite some time now, and we've been hearing several rumors about the second generation for a while. Hopefully, the new version will be released in 2022. The second generation of the AirPods Pro are supposed to have a new design. Apple was planning on removing the stems altogether, but apparently they don't have enough room for the H1 chip and more components, so it may have shorter stems or something like that. And the AirPods Pro are still going to have noise cancellation, transparency mode, and it may have the addition of lossless audio support. And last but not least, the iPod Touch 7th generation. It was released in May of 2019, and it's simply forgotten on Apple's website. It's definitely not the best selling device. The company promoted it as a gaming device before the release of Apple Arcade, but the specs are just not up to date anymore. It has the A10 Fusion chip, which is the same as the iPhone 7. It has an 8-megapixel camera, so yes, Apple could go ahead and update it for the users that want to simply listen to music, download games, and download a few applications, but I just think it's a better investment to go ahead and purchase an iPhone or an iPad mini. And these are the products that may be discontinued in 2022. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.